Yeah, all right, Dave, I have a question.
Okay.
And this is, you hear a lot about world changes
Sure.
and stuff like this. What do you think about it?
Well, yeah, it's something, I mean, as a teacher and as something that for young people are kind of pushed and taught that you don't just want to grow up and have a job. You don't just want to grow up, have a family. You don't just want to grow up in these things. You want to have big aims and you can change the world. You can join this crusade. You can join this.
Which is cool.
Which is good, yeah. You can see, like, this on one level, there's nothing wrong with that. But often we're asking people to try and change the world before they've even begun to take any responsibility for their own lives.
That's true.
And for their own things in life. And I suppose as a young person, we've really got to start to look at ourselves and within ourselves, and then ultimately with our relationship with God, and start very small and start taking responsibility for these small things. And it's those people that do that then have a big impact on the world. Individuals have and do have a big impact on the world, whether it's Winston Churchill to Martin Luther to anyone else. Individuals can impact and do impact the world. But those, you need to grow, you need to take responsibility for yourself, and you need experience.
And you have lots of kids in school who would like to be world changers?
I think people like the idea.
The idea, yeah.
The idea of
But
changing
do they
the world.
execute?
Do they execute? You know, the reality is when people can't even make their own bed in the morning or get to school on time, can you really expect to change the world?
Yeah.
You know? So for me, it's like, great, have those desires, those ambitions, pray about them, want to make a big impact. But you take the example of Moses. He had to learn to be nothing. He had to spend 40 years in the wilderness. He had to take time where he learnt about himself and he learnt about God, and then he was useful, and then he was usable. And I think that's something for us, that we want to change the world, but we forget what's right around us and what's close to us and the people around us and the places and situations God has us in right now, rather than dreaming one day when I do this, I'll be able to change the world.
Yeah, I think most people who are actually dreaming about changing the world are probably the last ones to actually change the world.
Yeah.
The person that's going to change the world is probably somewhere down, some nerd in a garage, you know, and doing some things we're not even expecting, which are relevant right now. People, it's like a little bit like, I know it from entrepreneurship. You know, all these people, they study entrepreneurship and they go to events and stuff like this, and you're like, guys, an entrepreneur, you're born as an entrepreneur, and then there are a few things that you can learn from a master, from somebody who really masters the game, okay? But then it's basically executing and being lucky.
Yeah.
Like Martin Luther and these, there were many people who were brilliant before them, like Jan Hus and stuff like that, people like these, but they were not there in the right time. So, and then there's a bigger theme there. It's also like, how is the world going to be changed? Yeah,
exactly. Do we expect the world to get any better?
Exactly.
Do we as Christians, when we look at the Bible and we look at the prophecy, and should we expect the world to become wonderful by our actions? One day we know God will set everything right. One day Jesus will come back again and reign righteously. But should that be our expectation of changing the world, or should we just think of the place and the situation that we're in now and aim to be faithful in that? And those small acts of obedience.
But people will say, oh, you're just leaning back, doing nothing and so on, and you leave the social work to other people.
Yeah, but I would say...
Bye!
I would say real change begins with people taking responsibility for things in their life, and that can be real small things, and that can be immediate relations and relationships that we have and things that we're responsible for. And it's a biblical principle. If you're faithful in small things, then you're going to be faithful in bigger things. And I think that's how it works. So start where you're at. You want to change the world? Start in your own house, in your own relationships. Take responsibility for what you have in your life and begin, and God will give you more and more opportunities.
Totally.